Hello everybody, today we'll be explaining about the case of Apple and we will be analyzing it. Our group members are Carla Bello, Diana Arnica, María Ferrosel, Paulo César Torres, and Belén Adrián Sena. So our presentation will be divided in 3 sections. The situation will be explained by me, Belén, Diana, and Carla. The background will be explained by Paulo, and the analysis will be explained by María Fe. So let's talk about the story of Apple. Apple was founded in 1976 by Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, and this company is an American company that manufactures electronic devices such as telephones, watches, headphones, etc. And they strive to bring the best personal experience to consumers, professors worldwide, and they constantly innovate to achieve these goals. An interesting quote from the CEO of Apple is that the company is bringing the best user experience to their consumers through their innovating hardware, software, and services. And that is absolutely true when we compare Apple with the other competitors in the market, such as Huawei or Samsung. Apple is always the first company in setting the new trends in the market, such as the wireless headphones or the new smartwatches or the new smartphones with different features that have never been seen before. So let's talk about the relationship with the stakeholders in Apple. So Apple basically wants their stakeholders to believe that they are constantly improving and working to satisfy their demands. And they use a holistic approach to work on it. And what exactly do Apple sells? Apple does not only want to sell to their consumers products such as a laptop or a cell phone. They also want to sell their consumers the idea that whenever they purchase an Apple product, they are also gaining a feeling of happiness, and that can only be obtained by purchasing an Apple product, not from a product of any other competitor, but only from owning an Apple product. So let's talk about the results, the financial results of Apple by March 2022. Here we can see the cash and equivalents, the net income, the total assets, and the supplemental cash flow for disclosure. The cash paid for income taxes net was 9,301 million, and the cash paid for interest was $1,406 million. While the earnings per share were the basic were 1.64 and the diluted were 1.62 thousand. And finally, let's talk about the advertisement on this company. They already know how they want this advertisement, and they want to keep it as simple as possible. The visuals, they want to keep them also simple, and as well as the messaging. They do not want to include on their marketing special effects or prices. They already have a very large base of consumers all around the world, and they know that their consumers are going to buy their products and that their products are going to sell. So they do not want to include any other invasive form of ads that can result in not being attractive to their consumers. Now,
thank you, Belém. Now, let's talk about the challenges and problems the company is confronting. As we know, Apple faces a variety of challenges despite its recent success. Apple is in a competitive market of constant technological change where it stands out for its creativity and innovation in its products. That is why, in order to continue competing, they persist to innovate in the systems and presentations of their products. Other issues the company faces are the limitations of its products, especially the iPhones, and the rise in labor costs in the countries where Apple's production plants are located. Moving on, Apple has become a chip powerhouse in the last decade and has reached some of the leading companies in the semiconductor industry. Therefore, another major challenge that this company has set for itself is to replace the Qualcomm's cellular modems with its design. But Why is it such a challenge? Well, the Qualcomm modem is the single chip multi-set mode global connectivity solution, and it's designed to support reliable and optimized cellular connectivity for the Internet of Applications such as asset trackers, health monitors, security systems, smart city sensors, and smart meters, as well as a range of wearable trackers. That is why, due to its complexity, Apple has a long way to go. Finally, some problems that the company is facing are that it is involved in some advertising controversies and it's having antitrust complaints from other technology companies such as Facebook. We know that Apple is a big company with a lot of power and influence. Therefore, most of the decisions it makes for the good of its own company can sometimes hurt others and generate a negative impact and even losses. That is why Apple is always in controversial conflicts. Now I give the floor to my classmate Carla.
So for this part, I will start talking about the key issue. So as Diana mentioned, Apple is always in a controversies and problems to face. The decisions made by this company are often criticized because for other companies, it generates a negative impact. So one of the most recent problems is advertising. This consists that Apple will implement a new system from which users must allow applications to use their data and to receive personalized advertising. However, many have opposed the move, arguing that this change could hurt the business of advertising on social networks. A company that did not agree with this is Facebook. For them, the changes presented by Apple will represent a decrease in income from its advertising business, since advertisements cannot be personalized in the same way. So as a result of these negative comments towards Apple, Tim Cook, CEO of Apple, clarified that the purpose they have with the handling of advertising is to stop the rampant misinformation and conspiracy theories driven by algorithms.
Hi, I'm Paulo, and I'm going to talk about the stakeholders and their critical issues that we have identified. First of all, we have media, concerned if their income is going to decrease, competitors, concerned how they will be affected as Apple's advertising redirection could affect their advertising business, customers, concerned about the advertisements they receive and new provisions they have to approve, shareholders, concerned how much this can impact the image of the brand. Now we have this Venn diagram where we can see the prioritizing of stakeholders. The most powerful is customers, which are the people who purchase the product or use the service. They are stakeholders who decide whether the business will success or not. Customers will show loyalty to a business they like. If they agree to take on the new provisions of Apple, everything will be fine. Otherwise, it is very difficult for the company to implement this new system. At the same time, competitors are also a fundamental part of the problem because they are the first to tarnish the name of the company. They have power, urgency, and legitimacy. Finally, shareholders, who also have power, legitimacy, and obviously urgency, since they have invested in the company. If something goes wrong, they will be the first to be affected, since the money will be worth less. Now we can see the communication plan with the stakeholders. First, we have the customers with a high priority. Their concerns are the new provisions to be approved. The recommended communication is to assure that their customers are a priority and each change is to improve their experience. Explain that this approval requirement is for the benefit and so they don't receive unpleasant advertisement. Then we have competitors. with also a high priority. Their concerns are the income that will be harmed, and the recommended communication is to assure that Apple care for the well-being of their users. It's their priority, but they are willing to talk so that no one feels harmed. Finally, we have the shareholders, also with a high priority. Their concerns are the image of the brand, and the recommended communication is to assure every change is to improve the company.
So I will be presenting the bridging gap, which is a communication adjective that will bridge the gap between companies' different generative. First, we need to understand the community. The vision of Apple is that we believe that we are on the face of Earth to make great products, and that's not changing. And the mission is to bring the best user experience to its customers through its innovative hardware, software, and services. As we can see in these news titles, the company Apple has indeed been working on offering an innovative software throughout the years, making life easier for its customers through new and renovated features that make their experience more efficient. However, this has directly affected many companies. According to Bank Linko, more than 1 million users have an iPhone in the world, which means that that amount of people are experiencing this new way of advertising of Apple according to this newest software, which force app publishers to include a pop-up asking for permission for track behavior for ad sales. And this means that millions of people are going to choose or not to be tracked by different apps. This has obviously affected Facebook as many other apps because Facebook's business model entirely relies on advertisements, and these advertisements have been effective thanks to the massive amounts of data that Facebook collects. Facebook Company Manager lets you target users down to specific and demographics, and even optimizes your ad to target certain purchase groups. Without this data, Facebook ads wouldn't be as effective. Facebook argued that these changes in iOS 14.5 will make Facebook ad less attractive and effective and make operating a small business more difficult. They quantified that these moves are anti-competitive and not meant to improve privacy as Apple claims. So people seem to side with Apple. This is mainly because of Facebook's bad track record in recent years when it comes to privacy. However, we cannot let these big companies such as Facebook be in war with Apple because we know that both companies are one of the biggest companies in the world and have a huge impact in the market. So we are explaining one idea that might be the best to approach regarding this controversy. First, we need to clarify that we are all in about protecting our privacy, but as some of us marketing majors, we understand that it's necessary to collect information and data about our users to offer what they want. However, we do believe that technology does not pass through of personal data snitched together across dozens of websites and apps to succeed. Facebook has become accustomed to easily grabbing information from people due to the lack of privacy that exists with its mobile devices. And this new update from Apple means that the ad won't go away. They just won't have as much access to your data to target them. So Facebook needs to accept users' decisions about their privacy and start approaching different ways to collect their information as long as they accept to it. We believe that always such as focus groups might be more accepted by people.